The latest. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. We heard what is happening around the world when the people who are preaching democracy went and kidnapped a sitting president in Latin America, Venezuela. World leaders brought out their comment. I showed you where France was asking, why is it that AES leaders are all in all the saviors, the protectors, the unifiers, the messiahs, are kings of kings, the most loud. Captain Ibrahim Traore, Assimi Goita Abdurrahmane Chiani, our two generals, are quiet because to them they believe that these leaders are very close friends to Nicolas Maduro, and they expect that if something is happening to Nicolas Maduro, they need to come out with a statement. Finally, our all in all issued a communique, and they are also against what the United States of America has done. According to them, it is illegal. Donald Trump do not have the right to go after a sitting president. And we know that all world leaders are condemning. African leaders have all voiced out, most of them. Most African leaders have voiced out against what Donald Trump did in the United States of America because it is against the international law. So for that matter, we don't expect that the United States of America will go after sitting presidents because of their might or whatever. So our all in all are also strongly condemning what the United States of America did in Venezuela. Some of us are not happy with the statements that some of our leaders are bringing out, and we believe that what is happening in Venezuela has nothing to do with us because we don't want to have problem with the United States of America. But as Africans, we should understand that we are even more vulnerable.
A report of the Confederation of Sahel States, IAS, regarding the armed attack by the United States of America against the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. The Federation of Sahel States, AES, has followed with deep concern the information regarding a military operation conducted by the United States of America on the territory of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, which resulted in the illegal abduction of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife. The Confederation of the States of the Sahel, AES, recalls that the use of armed force by a state against the sovereignty, territorial integrity, or political independence of another state is an unacceptable interference in the internal affairs of a sovereign state and constitutes an act of aggression. The AES Confederation, committed to the defense of sovereignty, territorial integrity, and independence, firmly condemns this serious act contrary to international law, particularly the fundamental principles enshrined in the United Nations Charter. The AES Confederation denounces the unilateral use of force, thus deeply regrets this violation of international law. Moreover, by a permanent member of the Security Council, and notes the ongoing weakening of the international order with harmful consequences for global stability. As a result, the Confederation of Sahel States calls on the Security Council, which bears the primary responsibility for international peace and security, so that it fully assumes its mission with respect to the Charter by clearly condemning the American military action and also working towards the restoration of international legality. 2. Reaffirms its commitment to a world order based on respect, the sovereign equality of states, and the strict adherence to the principles of the United Nations Charter. 3. Expresses its solidarity with the Venezuelan people whose sovereignty has been violated by this act of aggression. The Confederation of Sahel States, AES, reiterates its commitment to multilateralism and the strict respect for international law to ensure collective security and international peace. Done in Ouagadougou on January 8, 2026, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, President of FASO, Head of State, President of the Confederation of Sahel States.
Looking at all the defense systems that Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro was having, with all the might, we know how they are. They are much advanced than us in Africa. They are able to acquire certain things to defend themselves, unlike us that everything of ours is determined by other people. Yet the people within sold Nicolas Maduro, and they captured Nicolas Maduro simply because of the oil that the United States of America is interested in. So as Africans, if we think that this isn't our business, so for that matter we need to keep quiet, we have to wake up, because if we don't fight against it, the next thing will be you, the African. Now that they are taking it in some other ways, it means that when they need the gold, the diamond, the silver, the uranium, they can just come, capture a leader and take control. Like we've seen that Donald Trump is claiming he will not be the one in charge of Venezuela, because he hasn't seen anybody that is fit to run that country. So we need to all fight against this. We need to voice out against this, because as Africans, we are more vulnerable. And people should not take the law into their hands, like others are suggesting, that if this should happen, the world will not be a better place for you and I who claim we have peace, just simply because we are obedient to them and we allow them to continue to be doing whatever. They are not targeting our leaders, because our leaders have always allowed them to do what they want to do here. Nicolas Maduro is in these shoes because he has refused to allow these people to carry the resources that they have, which is the oil, because according to report, they have one of the largest oil reserves in the world, which these people are after. They don't have anything on their own. This is how they have built their nation, and they keep building it. And this is the time for us all as Africans to rise against this, because the resources in other countries do not belong to other people like they have made it seem. We have been seeing what they are doing in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso ever since the leaders rose up and took control over the resources that we have in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. We've seen the recent one that they targeted Captain Ibrahim Traoré, and the funders are outsiders. And we know that United States of America was also kicked out of these Sahel states. So all these things are not going down well with them. We even heard some of the congressmen saying that if Trump was the one that was in power, Niger would have been a very small nation to kick out US troops, because they believe that everything that anybody at all has is for them. And this is the time that Africans, we need to stop praying and acquire the necessary things that we can use to defend ourselves. We've seen that this man is doing this to other nations. Have you ever seen him talking about North Korea, Kim Jong-un? Because of what King, the father, and he himself have built for themselves. And now they are protecting their nation. And we know any listing that you do, he isn't the type who talks. He will quickly send it as a warning. So these people will never dare a nation like North Korea. So it is also a lesson for our leaders in the democratic elected to stop using archaic AK whatever. We need to start getting ourselves the necessary security that we need. People come in the guise of protecting us in Africa. Are we handicaps? Can't we protect our own selves? Yet these are the people who are always recruiting Africans into their military. So what is wrong with us getting the necessary things? They come into Africa, carry everything that they need to manufacture these things. Yet we are sitting here and they determine what we should have. Look at how Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso leaders are preparing, because they know what is at stake. This is a lesson for us all, and the leaders must also understand that they are vulnerable. So we have to start putting certain things in order as Africans in order to protect our own selves. We are not children that we need people to come and protect us. They also have their own problems. They pretend as if they have finished solving their own problems. But when this thing happened, we've heard that even some of the congressmen came out blaming and condemning Donald Trump because they said the United States of America, they have a lot of problems. People are sleeping outside. People cannot afford health care, ordinary food and other things. They can't. The basic necessity that the Americans need, they don't have. Yet he wouldn't concentrate on solving that problem. He's thinking about, you understand, his gain in this and not benefit whatever cause he claims he's fighting. So this is the time for you and I as Africans to also prepare ourselves instead of leaving the African fate into another man's hand. We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we make African great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world in Africa, in the Sahel.